What's up, guys? Hope you're having a great day. So, one of the most common questions I've been getting about getting out of debt, becoming financially free, is how do you set up your budget? You don't need a fancy app, you don't need a spreadsheet. You can do whatever the fuck you want, whatever works for you. If you want to use an app or a spreadsheet, it's fine. I use a notepad on my phone. It's simple as that. So, I'm about to get some lunch, and while I'm eating lunch, I'm just gonna sit down and walk y'all through how to make a budget on your phone. So let's do it. Alright, like I said, this is a simple notepad on my phone. We're going to start out with how much you make a week. This is an imaginary person, not a real person. Everything in here is made up. We'll call her Debbie. $750 a week, $3,000 a month. Alright, go on somewhere. So $750 a week, $3,000 a month. That's her full-time job. Debbie's a hard-working person, so she also has a second job to help pay her bills. $300 a week. It's going to be $1,200 a month. And then we're going to add... Yes, girl, leave me alone. So it's 4 paychecks in a month for Debbie. First, second, third, fourth. We're going to separate every bill by which week it's in, so we know how many bills for each week we have. And I'll explain as we go. So yeah, first, second, third. Alright. Be a real man and pay that shit for me. Alright, guys. So, I'm just going to go ahead and make the budget, and I'll be back in a little bit. Alright? Hold on. Alright, guys. We are back. Got the budget set up here. So, like I said, Debbie, she's 27 years old, single, no kids. She got a decent paying job. $59,000 a year, which equates to $750 a week, $3,000 a month. She also does Uber and Lyft on the side, $300 a week, $1,200 a month. You can make good money doing Uber and Lyft. I've done it a lot, actually. So like I said, we got her budget broken down by week. So each week, we know exactly how much bills are due for that week. So each week, she should bring in around $1,050. Our total income for the month is $4,200. Some of you are already saying, damn, Debbie making good money. I wish I could make that much. Well, Debbie's making okay money, but we'll see how she ends up at the end of the month. So right off the rip, worst case scenario, in my opinion, you got your rent and your car payment together on the first of the month. That's just how it played out for her. In the weekly totals, I have that missing for the time being because I'm going to bring it up in a second. But yeah, I try to make it as accurate as possible. Rent, car, $200 a week for groceries. You'll see that repeating each week. So rent and car, groceries, phone bill, every single thing you have, subscriptions, phone, anything you can think of that would cost money, it needs to be in your budget, okay? You can implement whatever you want into your budget. So rent, car, groceries, phone, Paramount Plus. Alright, second week of the month. Internet, more groceries, electric's $170, car insurance is $210, Hulu. Third week, groceries again. Debbie has two little personal loans out, for whatever reason, $98, $129. Amazon Prime $15. Fourth week of the month, groceries again. She also has two credit cards open for $180, $115 currently, and Klarna, which is some little payment shit that people use to pay off stuff, and then Spotify. So try to make it as realistic possible because a lot of people have consumer loans and credit cards. So yeah, right off the rip, you see $4,200. I mean, yeah, the first of the month, $1,800 plus the $680. You know she's going to be hurting that week in terms of $1,050 income for the week. But the rest of the weeks, I mean, her expenses for the week don't look bad for week 2, 3, and 4. So with that being said, let's go ahead and bring up the totals for the weeks. Alright, moving on, we got some weekly totals listed now. I'll bring up the total bills for the month and the weekly total for the first week in a second. So I want to make a point. You can have 3 good weeks out of the month where you got money left over. 309, 608, 504. Yeah, you're doing really good those weeks. But All you need is 1 week where your expenses vastly outweigh your income and throws you off for the whole month. So we'll bring that up now. Boom! $4,200 a month. You're like, damn, Debbie must be doing good. Not really. In the grand scheme of things, even with her part-time job, she is $361 in the negative. That first week of the month is tearing her up. And I want to touch on for a second, because I'm going to treat Debbie like a friend that I would talk to in real life. Why the fuck do you have a $680 car payment, Debbie? Not only do you have to deal with the car payment, they have to deal with the insurance on top of it, which is $210. For the sake of the story also, let's say Debbie had a paid-off vehicle that she does Uber and Lyft with. Let's do a 2012 Nissan Altima. They're really popular. It's paid off. She had it throughout college, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So if she had that, she could have continued driving that and not have a car payment. But Debbie decided to go out and buy a 2025 Jeep Wrangler. Not because she's going off-road anytime soon. Not because she has kids to haul around with, because it's 4-door. It's just cool. She just wanted it. It serves no purpose. I mean, it gets you around point A to point B, but the fucking Nissan Altima did that too. So you decided to go out and take out a loan for a $42,000 vehicle for 72 months. $680 a month. Meanwhile, you could have no car payment. So, this is real. This is what people decide to do in real life. They could have so much money left over if they didn't have high expensive car payments. And really, she's really terribly off, to be honest. Because even if she didn't have that $680 car payment, she's still forcing herself to work a part-time job to cover her bills, because the credit cards, the Klarna, and the personal loans are forcing her to work a part-time job. So, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, you might think Debbie makes good money, and on the surface, she has this nice-ass Jeep. This shit looks sweet. Nice ride. She has a nice apartment or house or whatever. But, behind the scenes, Debbie's finances are fucked. And this is how a lot of people are in the world currently. They worry about what things look like on the surface, and they don't know exactly how much in the negative they are every month. You never feel like you're getting ahead because you don't take the time to write every single thing down. You have no idea how much in the negative, or some people in the positive, every month. You have no idea. So, moving on. So that's a breakdown of Debbie's budget. Literally anyone can do that. However long it takes you to find out your bills and the amounts of them per month and categorize them of what day of the month they are. With mine, I have the exact day in parentheses beside the bill of what day it comes out. Whether it be the 1st of the month, 8th of the month, whatever. That way I know exactly when that bill is due. Anyone can do that. It's so simple. It's easy. So, another thing I like to do is an expense breakdown. It's one thing to list out your debts and your expenses and all that, but me personally, I like to categorize my debts, which I don't have much anymore, but my expenses, I should say. I categorize my expenses by whatever fuck they are. So we'll bring it up here. This is Debbie's expense breakdown. Rent and utilities, in terms of housing, is $19.70. $800 for groceries, $49 worth of subscriptions. Electronics, which is her phone and internet, is $290. Car insurance is $210. Now you see where I separated all the debts, because you want to get into the mindset of what would your life be like. Best case scenario if you had no debt. So in terms of the loans and the credit cards and the Klarna, that's $562 a month. Her car is $680 a month. That is $1,240 a month that she is spending on debt. And people can argue, oh, the car isn't consumer debt. Shut the fuck up. It's still debt. Get rid of your car payment and get rid of all your debt. You want to argue over a fucking $700 payment every month. Get rid of the shit. She would be saving $1,240 a month. Alright? So if she was debt-free, still working 2 jobs, working her ass off, she's still young. Hopefully she'll get some promotions or a better job where she don't have to fucking Uber and Lyft. But income is $4,200. Debt-free expenses would be $3,319. That is $881 to the good. And some people might be like, that's it? What the fuck you mean that's it? That's fucking almost $900 compared to in the negative of what she was with debt. Like, I know some people would say that's it? I'll put all this work in just to have $800 left a month? Yes. Are you stupid? But another thing I want to touch on is her housing. For this story, she is, I can't remember the age I put, 26, 27, something like that. No kids. If she really wants to save money and change her life, couldn't you get a fucking roommate and split that rent in half? And split the rent and the electricity. That would be an extra $985 a month saved. Add that on to the $881. $1,866 is what she could be saving every month. And I say roommate, but it could very easily be a partner or a spouse of some sort in the future. If she were to somehow cut her living expenses in half by way of someone else, $1,866. $1,866. So you got to look at the big picture. Look at best case scenario of what it could be if you didn't have any debt in your life. So that $1,866, that could unlock a lot of things in her life. Just for a second, this is about budgeting, but just want to talk about investing as well. A lot of people are scared of investing. They're scared of the stock market. They have no idea how it works. It's so fucking simple. It really is. People make things so much more complicated than they are. People try to think the stocks is, oh, you got to sit in front of a fucking computer and monitor and watch shit and buy and sell. No. There are people who do that for a living. Day trading, professional investors. You do not need to do that. You can literally set it up to where X amount of money is deposited from your check, every paycheck, into a separate account. And then that money is transferred into your brokerage account. And then you make automatic payments set up on whatever app you want. E-Trade, Webull, there's so many different apps for investing. It can literally do everything automatically. Don't have to think about it. And the good thing about that is if the money transfers directly from your paycheck, direct deposit into an account, you never see the money. So you're forcing yourself to live off less than what you currently are, which is good. Because if $1,866 comes to your account and you don't have a job for it, if you don't assign it something to do in terms of savings or investing, you're going to blow through it. Most people are going to fucking blow through it. So, also, in terms of investing, and I'll be done with this video. If she were to invest $500 in the S&P 500 for 20 years, she's 26, at age 46, it would be 274 to 380. Anywhere in between there. It depends on the rate of return, 7 to 10%. That's what the stock market does. Yes, it goes up and down, up and down. Yes, that is accurate. Historically, through the fucking ends of time, it's gone historically up. And people have become stupidly wealthy. I was stupid in my 20s. I did not do it. But I'm not making that same mistake for the rest of my life. And that's what I'm trying to encourage people to do. If she were to invest $500 from 26 to 66, yes, it's a long fucking time. Sounds like a long time, but life is short. But if you make the habit of investing $500 and this can be with you or a partner, you do it together, $250 from each of you. For 40 years, it would be $2.3 to $4.3 million by the time she wants to retire. Just by making a habit of investing. But she cannot invest if she has debt and is drowning in debt to pay her bills. So, this video has been long enough. It's been about budgeting, went off on a tangent about investing. Input whatever fucking numbers you have in the month for the budget. It's that simple. Fucking do it on your phone tonight. Anyways, that's it. Have a good day.